Alrighty, well, happy birthday to JIN-WOO. Perfect timing because, well, it is solo leveling day. We're going to be getting that fire episode. I can't wait. Oh my god, it's going to be so heat. But with all that being said, if you head over to your inbox, which I'm sure most of you guys already have, but, oh, that's not it. There we go. In celebration of JIN-WOO's birthday, we got a lot of goodies. Yeah. Oh, this is damn good. 2K just chilling right there. Very nice. 10 keys. We'll gladly take that. The weapon, the two free SSR weapon, that's crazy. I still can't believe we actually got. Okay, you know what, I'll take it. It's only volume 1, so it only goes up until the daggers, which is kind of like, I wish they would have kind of made it at volume 2 already, because that would have been massive. Not to say that this isn't massive, like this is huge, especially for like new players and whatnot. Still fantastic, but yeah. Oh wait, what's in this? What do we get in this? Oh, cores, very nice. Doesn't give us the new set though, that's unfortunate, but we'll take it, we'll take it. Alright, so let's claim all of that. Oh my god, happy birthday indeed. We need more birthdays, yo. Can we make it like a thing where we celebrate everyone's birthday and we get these weapon, like when it comes to rewards? So when it comes to being a hunter's birthday, we get like a hunter free weapon. They should do that. That'd be pretty dope if they do that. Alright, so choices are to be made because well, you know, you've got a chance to progress a weapon that you're trying to max out, maybe get the final advancements, or you want to kind of maximize on gaining more than one weapon, so that way you've got a plethora of choices on what to choose from, of course. So it being volume 1, you've got some good choices, of course, so kind of break it down. Let's go through element. Let me give you guys a little bit of a helping hand. Now in terms of dark element, it's kind of a fairly easy one to kind of break down on which one you want to go for. Plum and Moon Dagger are pretty much going to be the best of the best in terms of dark element, of course, especially with how universally used they are. I would say Plum is more universal in terms of utilizing it in so many more fights, situations, scenarios, game modes, etc., of course, but the Moon Dagger itself also does help out in not just with yourself being able to do more damage, but of course your teammates around you, of course. So dark wise, those are the two that you're going to kind of look into. Now the only element which I would say you just need to skip out on, unfortunately, it's going to be the light, because outside of the huntsman, which most utilize for the breakage, is the quarterstaff. Now unfortunately the quarterstaff is a volume 2 weapon, so it's not in the pick. So in terms of light coverage, I will say you're just gonna have to forget about that. So if anyone is struggling on light coverage, I'm sorry, it's unfortunate. We just have to wait for volume 2 to release, and that way we can start maximizing and capitalizing on the better light weapon. So that's the situation that on hand with the light element itself. In terms of water, it's been like this for a very long time. I am still waiting to see a new water. We actually might get a new water weapon for anniversary, FYI, because water element will be getting touched up on very soon in the potential next update after Go to Ruji, or in the first year anniversary. So we might be coming upon a broken water weapon, but as it stands right now in terms of water coverage, it is going to be the day 1 grimoire that is still holding it down as the preferred choice for the water element, of course. So if that's something that you're in need of, that's what you're going to be choosing from. In terms of the fire, it's an instant. It's going to be the Phoenix Solbo, the fan, because that's a brand new weapon. That's the latest brand new weapon. You can still go about getting that for free technically by using the tickets. Obviously you've got the event going on right now to claim the full, so if you want to maximize on getting the combination for the fire element, you've got the option to do that, of course, by having access to getting the Phoenix Solbo for free. Also going furthermore into the advancement, because we get 2 picks. So that's what I would prioritize for the fire element. And then of course when it comes to the wind element, I'm gonna give the Demon King longsword some props, because it is kind of back in action. But in terms of maximizing your damage, the dagger is just on a whole nother level. It is catered to, it is preferred for, and when it comes to wind element, this is the weapon to take. The damage that this produces is just, it's too disgusting not to pass up on. So if that's something that you're eager for, something that you need for, or when it comes to covering your wind element, this is it. Also keep in mind, the next wind weapon that we get is coming up with the Go to Ruji update. and it is looking to be a support weapon for the wind typing. And so if you want to maximize on getting the DPS side of the wind element out the way, this is it. So then when the new weapon drops covering for the wind element, again, if you choose to not get the fan, then you can go about getting the support new wind weapon for free, and now you're picking up the DPS wind weapon for free too. So there's your combination coverage. So you can either cut, I mean, to be fair, you can only get one, because you can only get one because of the support weapon. You have to use your gold tickets. I feel like most people will only have the chance to get a set of one. So yeah, but those are the coverage side of things. So in terms of mode wise, what are we looking at? Of course, so I mean, going on it from a guild boss perspective, it is going to be these two. I mean, if I do pin them together on who I would prioritize more, it would be the Moonshadow Dagger. I would say that right now. So, but again, that's just from a guild mode perspective on the two weapons that are being utilized more in terms of getting high points. But putting them in a 1-2 position, number one will be Moon Dagger, number two will be the Grimoire, of course. When it comes to what's it called? But Workshop Brilliant Light. If we focus on Vulcan, to those that are still handling that, again, the two elements that he's weak to is wind and water. Once again, at the very beginning, a lot of people were utilizing the Grimoire. Now that we've got this badass weapon and the more coverage you can get, it's more preferred on the dagger itself, because that will cut through Vulcan more easier. You do more damage from this than you will do with this, of course. So I would cater to the dagger itself in that Workshop Brilliant Light perspective when it comes to going against Vulcan, of course. In terms of Baron, in terms of Baron, you've got the wind, and then you've got the dark coverage, of course, depending on where you are with your plum sword, because you really want to kind of get that advancement up, because the plum sword is such a universal weapon. Like, if you can get this maxed out, then pretty much you've got your one weapon that you're going to be using on practically everything, because at that point it's basically a support for, you know, whatever other secondary weapon you have. It's that great of a weapon, of course. But then, of course, the Moonshadow Dagger will be on the board itself. You can also, if you're happy, if you're content with where your dark element is at, then you'll then resort to going with the dagger itself when it comes to Baron's coverage, of course. So that's kind of where we're at for the weapon itself. So a little bit more of an option for Baron himself. Now, well, it's not exactly much of an unfortunate thing, because obviously with the newest Workshop Brilliant Light, the only weapon here that you're going to be using to cater to is going to be the Phoenix Soulbow. The Quarter Staff is not in the midst of things. The fan is the newest, latest weapon. So realistically, in that Workshop Brilliant Light, the Phoenix Soulbow will be your best bet for coverage on that part. And then, of course, if you do want to go further more to maximize it, then you can use the golden ticket from the event that you get for free. And then try and, well, that's if you can get the final ticket. If not, you can still save it up. It's not a problem. But or choose to summon for it. It's up to you if you want to maximize the fire element combination, of course, and then you can use that to help you through the newest Workshop Brilliant Light, being Demons, of course. So there's that. And then, of course, when it comes to Power of Destruction, primarily, universally, it is the Plum Sword and the Moonshadow is what's getting used to. Again, if your Plum Sword is content with where it's at and you're kind of happy with it, then you can resort to with the Moonshadow, of course. Again, you want to really buff up the A5 on, or getting this weapon to A5. That's kind of like what I would suggest, of course, when it comes to getting those advancements in, of course. But when it comes to POD, these two are kind of universally used. I mean, you can also take into consideration the weakness element once it comes into play for Dark, but even if it is the case, you're still going to be doing a good amount of damage. So yeah, for POD, these two is what's kind of recommended there. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. So again, when it comes to prioritizing the weapons, obviously I went through the element, I went through the modes and what's being catered to. In terms of just kind of going through the weapons that we have and prioritizing them, I would say make sure your Plum is done up beautifully. That's going to be the number one. After that, Moonshadow. That's going to be the second on hand. Then I would lean over to the dagger itself, because the damage on that is just too disgusting not to sleep on. And then after that, I think after that it'll be a split between the Grimoire and then the Phoenix Soulbow. I think that's kind of how I would look at it. Yeah. Now again, you've got a choice to get 2 weapons. At the end of the day, it comes down to your account. It comes down to where your advancements are at, of course. That's all in your book. What element you need to cater to, of course. I can only give you the weapons that are good in those scenarios, the better elements in their specific, the better weapons in their specific elements, and then just a kind of priority list on how to go about tackling on which weapon to cater to, of course. But yeah, that's kind of how I would look and set them up in terms of coverage, element, and just universally which weapon is going to be more helpful in more scenarios and situations. So yeah, 3 weapons for everyone. That being said, I'm going to be going completely outside of the box. What do I want to do? Okay, well, I'll max out the Huntsman, and then I will never use the Vulcan's range. I would never use that weapon, so I'm just going to get the pistol up.